Jacqueline Carroll share her story tonight with us.
Thank you. As I prepare for the reality of this upcoming holiday, I reminisce about Christmases of my early childhood. What did your childhood Christmases look like? As a very young girl, each and every year that excitement never waned for what was going to unfold in the special days of the upcoming holiday. The anticipation of so many busy events, our new Christmas outfits, the brilliant light displays, that woodsy pine smell of the Christmas trees, and the delicious aromas of the foods and desserts. But best of all was the heartwarming love we felt as we rejoiced in the birth of baby Jesus. The days leading up to the holidays were often as busy as the season itself. I remember Christmas baking would start many weeks before. Some of the popular items that my mom would prepare would be that fruitcake filled with the green and orange maraschino cherries and the delicious dark raisins and the chopped walnuts. Better yet, the whipped shortbread that literally melted in your mouth. And to top it off, it was that decadent butter tart filling that just dripped down your chin every time you took a bite of that flaky pastry. The homemade fudge that my dad would bring his muscles to was the kind of the tail end, the last thing that we made, but he showed up for the task because it had to be stirred properly. My mom created and sewed matching outfits for my two younger sisters and I to wear on Christmas Day. She spent a lot of time with many fittings. She paid so much attention to the minute details, like the special lace trims or those certain buttons. And best of all, she made them with love. Some of my favorites were the red wool jumpers that many pictures we see, we were sitting on top of the ride-em horses, the luxurious, elegant green velvet dresses. But the best one of all, and I couldn't find the pictures, were those show-stopping Fortrell purple hot pants. Came on stage in the late 60s. We even had matching vests. We were always styling when we showed up. Finally, it was the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was sleeping, not even a mouse. We had a full night ahead awaiting Jesus's birth. We attended midnight mass. The choir sang beautiful hymns and carols, including that famous "O Holy Night." Before we left the church after mass, I always checked the nativity scene to make sure to see if baby Jesus had in fact arrived. Nope, the creche was still empty. We were on our best behavior because the night actually had just begun. And after mass, we all headed to my grandparents' house to celebrate Réveillon. Réveillon is a French-Canadian tradition that maybe some of you know about, and that marks the start of the Christmas season. We ate, we drank, we played games, stories were told until the wee hours of the morning. Everyone belonged at that big table in my grandma's basement. No kids got relegated to their kids' table. Much preparation went into that full meal we indulged in the middle of the night. It included that warm, salty ham with the pineapple rings my grandmother would painstakingly put, the traditional tourtière meat pies of ground beef and pork that were seasoned with aromatic cloves, nutmeg, and allspice. And in my world, the wonderful desserts were best of all. The celebrations carried on until dawn. The tradition then was more about celebrating and not so much about the commercial gift giving. It was never my recollection when we celebrated, it was all about the gifts, it was all about the celebration. By the time I was 10, my grandparents moved back to Manitoba. They were the glue that held that Réveillon together in Alberta, and it was never the same after that. We all moved forward though. Families grew with new dynamics. Nieces and nephews came along, and each family unit started creating their own family traditions. We didn't even get to midnight mass anymore. Mass was as early as 4 p.m. in the afternoons often. We never stayed up all night. We couldn't do it. In our pause this year, I will continue to revel in those Christmas memories of my childhood because we were really present then. And as we go into the holidays this year, let's take the opportunity to come to be present now. Merry Christmas.